Well, that's going to be on the stream.
We're live?
I don't know. I don't see it yet. We probably are live. People can hear all this lovely stuff. Yeah, probably. I don't know. Why don't you just go for it?
All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Those Aren't Biscuits.
Oh, we're not live!
Your
I'm
weekly
kidding. I'm kidding. Go for it.
Oh. Your weekly uninterrupted pop culture live stream. We're interactive. We talk about pop culture stuff. So we talk about movies. We talk about music. We talk about comic books, just all sorts of stuff. I'm one of your hosts, Jonathan Cadet, and with me, as always, the infantile Owen Adams.
The irrepressible, I like to think of myself. I will not be repressed.
Okay. Just everything just gets right out there, right on Front Street, huh? Nothing gets repressed.
I mean, people do frequently call themselves irrepressible, and I always, think, it's a bit weird.
I don't know. The last time someone said that, I forgot all about it.
Do you remember Lois and Clark, The New Adventures of Superman?
Yeah, because you bring it up like every week.
I do not. That is not true. That's a dirty rotten lie, and you know it. But there's a great episode, season 3, I think, maybe season 2, where Superman saves a guy while getting struck by lightning. And it transfers him his powers, and he's just this little southern gentleman. And he starts calling himself Resplendent Man, which I always think is really funny. Yeah, Resplendent Man. Resplendent Man. And he starts billing people after he saves them. He rescues them and he sends them a bill in the mail. Yeah. It's a pretty good episode.
I mean, basically heroes for hire.
Yeah. Except he sends these little letters out saying it's a small price to pay for being snatched alive from the gripping jaws of death. It's good. Superman confronts him.
Jesus. Just getting over their PTSD often gets the bill in the mail.
Your mic has just crapped up to all hell. Or your connection. And you've gone.
Oh, good. I'm still here.
Well, yeah, you're still here, but you did disappear for a little bit. Should we end the call?
Had a huge delay.
Should we end the call and restart this?
Yep.
So we're gonna end the call and restart this, but I should just mention the way we're actually doing the audio on the stream here. You are actually going to hear the Skype noises as I attempt to call John, which is great. I might see if I can change those. Hey, John, how you doing?
Hello. Hey, I'm back.
Welcome back. We now get to stream the Skype noises as I phone.
Yay!
I might see if I can turn that off.
I love the Skype noises.
Do you, by any chance, have something like running on the internets in your house that is not your... Sometimes that triggers your internet, right? Because you're breaking up a lot.
Yeah. Okay, let me make sure. I'll go check.
And I'll tell you what I'll do.
Right.
I will turn down the quality of the stream a little bit, just in case we're using too much bandwidth on my end. So while John's going to do that, how are you, everybody? I hope you're having a good time. If you are new here, this is a weekly show where we talk about comics, movies, video games, pop culture, news, all kinds of stuff like that. It is a very entertaining show, and sometimes we have minor connection issues because things happen like that. And we're having a little bit of one today, but not too bad. Are you back, John?
All right. I'm back. No, everything seems to be good. We do have some really nasty weather moving through. So
like through the house?
Might.
The wind just weaves past and just goes, prick! Wow, that is some nasty weather.
Knocks on the door, open it up. Hey, what's up, bitch? I'm like, whoa, all right.
Your hair sucks. Thanks, wind. Jesus.
Right. But yeah, it's... So yeah, we'll try our best to keep it together for you guys, but if not, I'm sorry.
Tiny Beth Secret in the chat says, it's better now.
Yay!
No, I don't think she means the audio is better. She means like with you disconnected.
Oh,
It's better now. The show has improved. Now I'm being nasty weather.
God damn it! I hate when Owen's all weather-like.
It happens frequently too, right? Like this is a known risk. Me being weather-like.
Yeah, I mean, it's well known that Owen blows quite often. Just like the weather.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. Just throwing that out there. Fun fact for everyone.
That just sounds like an innuendo, to be honest. An inappropriate one. At this present stage
Oh no,
of our
I'm not. I'm not trying to suggest any innuendo here. I'm literally just throwing out there that Owen, enjoys orally pleasuring men.
No, homophobia. It's great.
There's nothing homophobia about that. Why is that homophobic?
Implying that it is an insult to suggest that someone might enjoy homosexual activities.
No, there's no implication of insult there.
Sounds like you got an issue in this area, to be honest, John. I don't know. I expected better of you, Jonathan. I mean, I know you're from the Midwest.
We have audio proof now. We have audio proof now that is the first place you went. Not me. You.
I don't know. I mean,
it's right here in the live stream. You're the first one who ever suggested insult.
Don't know. Just saying, I'm a little disappointed in you, Jonathan.
What, that I'm not as homophobic as you?
That you are homophobic at all. That you used it in such a way. I have no shame of this incorrect fact anyway. You just made up.
But you have to go out of your way to say it's incorrect, right? You can't play your mind games with me, Adams.
Well, I have to say that's the most Wisconsin thing you've ever said, right? Deciding that qualifies as a mind game?
Well, I mean, I kind of tone down my standards whenever I'm talking with you.
I got him with one of those impeccable enigmas.
See, now he's gloating about it, so... Yeah, I got you. I'm the brainer. I'm the brain wizard.
The brainer. That's the next big Marvel supervillain. Yeah, we need more of a smart guy. Not less of a tough, brawly guy. Just someone who's got the street smarts. What do we call him? Oh, I don't know. The brainer. That's it.
Gold.
The brainer. With his all-powerful lobes. Next issue. Enter the brainer. Cheerful scientist Harvey Small Forehead works by a vat of impossible chemical X supplements. But what's this? A raccoon
forehead.
balancing on the edge of the flasks. That's just how I see the brainer.
Which is why I'm writing the comic.
Do you ever play Freedom Force?
Like the PS2 where like is that the one where you like do like team-based combat with in like bombed out New York?
I don't think it was bombed out. Maybe not in the bit I played. It does play a little bit like X-Men Legends. It's that sort of game, But all the characters, all the characters are basically 1950s era comic book characters, but new ones written for the game. So, like,
yeah, definitely not at all what I'm thinking of.
The first hero you play is a guy called Minuteman, who's basically Captain America, and all these different things.
That's such a terrible name.
It's really funny. An alien lands from another world to warn the Freedom Force that these aliens are coming to attack. And he meets up with Minuteman first. He says, a grave threat is threatening your world. I know! Communism! It's really enjoyable. It's full of like really tongue-in-cheek gags on that era of comics, but it's a really fun little game. It's good.
Fair enough. So, with all that being said, how you been, man?
Not bad, not bad. I haven't done that much since last week. I haven't done that much interesting. I've still been watching The Punisher, which we're getting through a little slowly, but we kind of picked up speed now. I'm nearly finished that. I should be ready to talk about that next week. Which
okay, just in time for Daredevil season 3.
Yeah, which then I've got to watch Better Call Saul, so I don't know. I don't know if I'll get to it straight away. And then I've still got Iron Fist season 2 and all that stuff. So yeah,
have you done Luke Cage season 2?
Yeah, I've done Luke Cage season 2. We talked about that, right? Oh no, we haven't. We haven't actually discussed that yet.
Not really.
We mentioned one thing because I think you were talking about. Yes, we were talking about something that had like a very unexpected final chapter.
Yes.
To which I compared it to Luke Cage season 2.
Right.
Which I will say, everything else about Luke Cage season 2 aside, that might not be my favorite episode of that season. All things considered.
It feels very much like, spoilers everyone, but it feels kind of like the ending of The Departed.
Right.
You know? Where it's like, okay, well, we've been going on for so long. We got a few loose ends. Let's just kill everybody in the last 10 minutes of the show.
Right, and then just go, and then this is what next season's gonna be, but without enough explanation to establish exactly what they're trying to do. Do you know what I mean? Like, you get it?
Right.
Okay, next season, Luke's gonna be in charge of the club, and he's gonna be sort of a heroic gang leader. Sort of.
Right.
But it's not a very clear ending, is it? You know what I mean?
No, it's very, like, I mean, I think we'll go into this more in detail, probably, like, let's say, like, next week or so. But, like, his logic for that jump is kind of like, huh?
It's very much a TV-led decision. It's very much a, that's where we want season 3 to be led. And then we have to make Luke Cage fit that development. Which, you know, once you get there, that season might be great. But I think it would work better if they didn't put that season on the end, and they started season 3, and that was the position, and some time had passed. So when the new season started, you were like, oh wow, how did this happen? You know? You know what I mean? No, we lost John. No, we didn't lose John.
No, I'm here.
We looked,
no,
good,
I'm here.
Yeah, fine. It's because you sent me a link, so everything went blue.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's just a link for later on.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Not again, John.
Bask in it. Enjoy it.
God damn it.
Love it.
Hello to Frankie55561 Games. How you doing, man? Welcome.
Hey.
Tiny Bit Secret says, have you watched more Batman?
Welcome.
I have. In fact, I watched my favorite episode of Batman so far yesterday. For people who don't know, my girlfriend got me a copy. Got me a copy of the 1960s Batman series for my birthday.
Batman.
And I haven't seen this regularly since I was a kid. And I have to admit, I'm actually really loving it. Like, really, really loving it. And the last episode was my absolute favorite so far. The Joker put vending machines in schools that were tricked. So the opening cold open is these cheerleaders go to a nice refreshing milk vending machine and put in a dime, and it hands out like $5 silver as change, and they're like, wow. And then it cuts to Commissioner Gordon's office where he's like, there's only one person responsible for this, the Joker. And my girlfriend and I were watching it, and we were both saying out loud, why? What? What is this to do with the Joker? What? The Joker's plan, by the way, was in part to lower the faith of Gotham's youth in education by surrounding their schools with vending machines that just put out money in response for dimes, so they didn't feel like they needed to study because all the vending machines were just coughing out lots of cash.
And that, children, is the dangers of communism.
He also had a jukebox that whenever someone put a quarter in it to play a song, the top opened and a shotgun on a moving arm, so it just panned from left to right, would stick up the establishment, and two of the Joker's men would run in and take the money. And it was very funny.
Thus, the danger of rock and roll.
It's pretty good. I very much enjoyed it. I actually really like... there are some areas of the show, as much of a comedy as it is, that I actually think the show is really good at. I think Alfred might actually be the best Alfred in this show. He's legitimately funny. But he's the same character. He is unchanged. He is just Alfred. Cesar Romero's Joker's actually amazing. Like, legitimately amazing. And he straight up kills someone in this episode. Not... Okay, they don't die. They don't die. They survive. But he intends to kill someone, believes he has killed someone, and is happy he's done it. I feel like we need to
explain the definition of kill now.
Okay. He poisons one of his henchmen with fake perfume. Technically, well, it's a henchwoman. And he poisons her with a fatal poison. Batman gets there with his all-purple universal antidote before she dies. But he does legitimately try and kill this henchman because just because like they're onto her, so she can't lead him back. He's a really creepy, scary villain in the show. I was kind of surprised.
Yeah,
but no, I'm still very much enjoying the 1960s Batman show. It is good. I still recommend it. Batman. Yeah, Batman.
That's what I always remember from that show is the Penguin. I don't know why. Like he only shows up in like 2 episodes maybe.
Oh no, he's pretty. Like Burgess Meredith loved being the Penguin, so he made it known to them he would always be available to play the Penguin. He's in a lot.
Okay, because I just always remember it. Oh, Batman.
Batman, my fine feathered Fink. The best thing about the Penguin is the first Penguin episode. He has the most amazing plot. He's sick of getting caught by Batman and Robin, so he bugs Batman and Robin and listens into them, but he plants a piece of evidence that's them bugged, so they go and examine it. And then he waits until they, but through the power of deduction, figure out what crime they think he's going to do and how they plan on stopping him. And then he just goes and does it, except for the bit that... Because he can't decide what to do next, so he just goes, I'll just let them pick what I do next. It's really funny.
Oh. Well, that's nice.
Oh, I've been reminded of something I was actually supposed to tell you.
Oh. I can't wait.
So while I'm watching The Punisher, there's an episode that comes up with a little Netflix warning. Does this come up in the US when it says this episode contains product placement, or is this just a UK thing?
I believe that's just a UK thing.
So here,
I remember that.
When product placement comes, then you have to declare it, but you can have it. But what that means is, as soon as it comes up as a declaration, you're watching for it. Like, what is the product placement? What's it going to be? And you're like, is it bullets? Is it this? Is it this gun company? You know. So you watch it all the way through. Right. And then it comes up, right? And it's like a Sony Vaio laptop, right?
Okay.
And it's showing this horrific torture hostage scene.
I bet you Sony's like, yeah, bringing in the bucks now.
And as soon as I saw it, I was like, I have to talk about this with John because I think that's so funny. Like, can you imagine making a deal with like Netflix and Marvel being like, oh yeah, Marvel, my kid watches that stuff. We got to get our Sony products on there. And then you watch the bit and it's like some guy being tortured in Afghanistan surrounded by soldiers while he pleads, I'm not a terrorist.
Imagine some Sony exec too, just like okay, so we're gonna put our Sony Vaio laptop into this episode, okay? Can you make sure that it's showing something nice, something that's important to the plot, something that couldn't happen without it. You know what I'm saying? Like people need to feel like if they need whatever's happening in the show to happen in their real life, they need this laptop, right? That whatever's going on cannot happen without this laptop. Okay, you got it?
So
cut to the episode. Son of a bitch.
So the next episode.
Son of a bitch.
So the next episode, there's the same declaration on like this episode contains product placement. So all the way through we're like, all right, which product put their name to this? And I swear to God, the only product I could identify somewhat like as a defined product is a guy buys a pressure cooker to make a bomb.
Honeywell is just like, all right, we're gonna put our pressure cooker in your episode, all right? But can you put it into an important part? Like, whatever's happening in the episode can't happen without our product.
It needs
right?
to be pivotal. And they're like, all right, scrap the TNT.
We're going with pressure. You know, and really lay out the features, okay? We really need you to show off the features, you know? Explain why our product is important for this scene, okay? That's what we need.
Why could this only be done with a pressure cooker?
just a step-by-step instruction guide to making a pressure cooker bomb. And it has to be Honeywell, endorsed by Honeywell.
Hello to NoSpeed11 who says, need to do some more DBD streams. I really enjoyed those. A lot of hilarious moments. Yeah, we should do some of that. I'd be up for doing some more of that.
Some what?
Dead by Daylight.
Oh yeah. I like that game.
Hello also to Frankie and Chicken Lisa. How you doing, guys?
Hey, welcome.
So yeah, I'm sure it wasn't the pressure cooker, but there was nothing else on display there. Do you think?
So you must have gone to the B plot episode that I hated that episode. The passion.
Well, I've only got a few episodes left, but there is a B plot that I don't want to say it comes out of nowhere because they are building it up for a while.
Mm-hmm.
But it is quite separate to the main plot for a little bit. There's a few episodes where it takes place there.
I mean, we'll go into more detail probably next week, but yeah, it very much is a. Oh, that was abrupt. You know, like.
I have to say, so far, it didn't really bother me, but we'll talk about it in more detail. But I'd want to get to the end first. You know what I mean? Because it might go nowhere as well. Like, there are things that aren't a problem until you get to the end and they're either justified or not justified. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you.
See. Like Batman's dick in...
Oh, that took me places.
I still think, by the way, that, you know, the existence of Damian Wayne should have rendered this non-controversial anyway. You know what I mean?
Oh, no.
We knew it was in there.
Batman has no penis. He never slept with Talia. It was an extraction from his internal testicles.
Are you telling me that on the night Bruce Wayne's parents died, theoretically the night when he became Batman, Joe Chill also removed his penis?
Look, I'm not going to extrapolate any further on that possibility because now we're talking about a small child, and I'd rather not, but...
See, I thought you were going to make
that's what I'm saying.
I was giving you an opening to make your classic, well, it's chilly out there joke.
No, because that's how Joe got his name.
Which is why he goes around stealing people's penises, John. Keep up.
Damn it. I forgot the secret origins of Joe Chill.
That's the one Golden Age comic most responsible for the code.
12-issue miniseries of Joe Chill's endowment issues.
Joe Chill's turgid collection.
Welcome to Joe Chill's Phallic Palace.
And it is like the 1960s show. Yeah, Batman! Get him, boys!
Save the penis, though! All the henchmen are just like really not into it. They're like, oh, fuck. Like,
will the Cape Crusader escape from this with his endowment intact?
I just like the idea that 1960s. This is the one time they just get like really, really vulgar. Like, tune in next time to find out if Batman escapes with his throbbing cock. Well, what?
Well, I have to say, having read, read the various behind-the-scenes, writings of Burt Ward and Adam West.
Oh yeah.
That's they used to call it the Bat autograph. Is all I'm saying.
Oh
You ever seen that movie Return to the Batcave?
no.
It's pretty good. It's genuinely pretty good. It's worth watching.
So, would you like me to go on to one of my topics, or?
Oh sure. We were just chilling and easing our way in.
Chilling. Joe Chill has penis issues.
Well, don't most criminals? They are a cowardly and superstitious lot.
Plagued with ED. Just...
Batman doesn't say that anymore. It's really sad. I would have liked it if Christian Bale had said that criminals are a cowardly and superstitious lot.
Yes, Batman. Batman. Yes, Batman.
Bruce Wayne, you'll never get my lucky rabbit's foot.
Batman, let me see that penis. Now you too.
Is that being cowardly and superstitious? Oh no, I've got to do the wrong club.
You've merely adopted the penis. I was born with it. So was I. Were you now? No.
It was a long time ago, I don't remember. Rachel!
Yeah, Rachel actually didn't die. She was actually working with the Joker, like, please fake my death so I can get away from this goddamn lunatic. Like,
I left it down in the well with the bats. He'd never give the penis to an ordinary citizen.
I'm the penis that Gotham deserves, but not the penis it needs. What? Rachel!
It's not who I am on the inside, but my penis that defines me.
Bad penis. Just everyone in Gotham like, oh fuck, here comes Batman.
Just helicoptering, windmilling around everywhere he goes.
Bat dick. That's 2 weeks in a row, everyone, that I've uttered the phrase bat dick. I'm like,
everybody,
I'm not proud of this anymore.
Everybody call him Robin.
No, we're not going to do that. It's my ward. No, it's just your penis. We're not giving it a name. His parents died too. Yeah, go figure, huh? Yeah, that's crazy. Funny how that happens.
The little tyke's been through so much.
He's tuckered out. We're just slowly becoming the Pete Holmes version of Batman.
I always start off intending to be Christian Bale.
And we end up as Pete Holmes. It's the story of our life.
Story of his, too, I think.
Yeah. Pete Holmes intended to be Christian Bale and ended up as Pete Holmes.
Hello to Travis Rainager, who says, my cat is freaking out about the falling cookies. Those aren't biscuits. That's true, they aren't. So what was your topic today, my good chum?
I don't even remember anymore. No. So I finally, and I'm a little late to the party, everyone, but I finally saw John Wick.
Oh, I haven't seen this. Is it good? No spoilers. I'm kidding. Talk about it. That wouldn't be useful if I said that.
No, it is good. It's a good movie, but
I hear a dog dies in it.
It does very early in the film. The dog dies, and they actually kind of set it up. And so I had heard about the dog dying too, and so leading up into this, all I could think of, like, my whole perception of this movie is like, okay, so this guy who's clearly like an assassin or whatever gets just like his dog dies, so he just goes on this murdering rampage. Okay. But they actually give more of a reason why he's so pissed off that this dog died. And it's actually pretty heartwarming. But so I don't want to go into like major plot details because they're not really important. They're really not.
You're really selling it to me.
No, it's what makes this movie really interesting to me is that they never once tried to fake you out like, oh, John Wick might not make it through this. Like, he is, through the whole movie, just the most unstoppable killing machine known to man. Like this movie is like rooting for the alien from Alien, you know? And like at no point are you ever like, huh. But there, in a weird way, it works because they also really lay into it where it's not just him who thinks he's this unstoppable killing machine. Everyone in the movie also acknowledges the fact that he is an unkillable, unstoppable killing machine. Like, as soon as everyone realizes that John Wick's on the case, that he's gonna, everyone loses their goddamn mind. they're like, what? John? Oh, hell no. Fuck this. And everyone like starts panicking and like losing their shit. And so it really is like rooting for the monster in a monster movie. It just
fun.
Yeah, it is. The other really cool thing about this movie, I mean, to be fair, it's acted competently, as best you're gonna get with Willem Dafoe and Keanu Reeves having the most emotion.
Willem Dafoe did all right in Spider-Man, where you couldn't see his mouth move.
Finish it from evil.
My favorite bit is that scene where Spider-Man's like got the paralyzed gas. You know, he's like stunned on the roof, and the Green Goblin's talking to him, and you can't see any of their eyes or mouths, so they're just like blip, 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 blip.
Oh, and by the way, hello, Travis Reininger, if it's who I think it is. Hi, I know you. But
I know you.
I know you. No. Good guy, good musician. I can play some of their music later if you want. So that's all fine. It's all well acted. But the most interesting part of the whole movie is that they real casually and without making they don't like take the time to really explain it, which is nice. But they just acknowledge that there's this like super secret world of assassins out there. Like a good portion of the movie takes place at this hotel called the Continental that caters especially. So nice. Yeah, but the hotel caters exclusively to contract killers and assassins.
They get like a breakfast deal.
Yeah, no, it's like a full on. It's a continental breakfast. But no, it's like this full on really nice hotel with room service and a nice bar and everything like that. But it caters especially and only to killers. And there's this whole like set of rules, and they all have these codes that they use, like Like, oh, are you going to make dinner reservations? And dinner reservations is code for, are you going to have bodies removed? and but then they all like pay in these gold coins. They never explain the gold coins. It's just like this secret currency that's only used by killers and contract murderers.
Yeah, I got a few of those.
But yeah, and like there's this whole set of rules that they never really go into the rules, but they're like, oh yeah, by the way, don't break the rules. And they keep on referencing like, hey, don't break the rules, no business on the premises. Like, you guys can stay here, we'll supply you, we'll heal you up, there's a doctor on site, everything. It's like, you know, the whole premise for Hotel Artemis?
Yeah, I heard that film was bad, but I thought it looked great.
Yeah, it looked really cool. That whole premise started with John Wick. The whole idea of this like secret facility that's hidden as something else. And
so not to get like conspiratorial and things like that, right? But serious question: do you think places like that do exist?
I hope so.
I always wonder.
I
hope so.
I kind of
You're a monster.
No, I think that's awesome. Like,
well, yeah, a place where people who kill other people for money can hang out and get a breakfast.
Right. Just don't go there. You know. Like,
well, actually, if you went there, you'd probably be safer, right? Under most circumstances. Possibly not during the events of the movie John Wick, I don't know. But you know what I mean?
But it plays up to this idea of like the honorable killers, right? The honorable criminals.
Yeah, but that's not true, John. You're not supposed to root for that existence.
I get that. Well, I guess I'd rather the idea, because like killers are going to exist one way or the other. I'd rather believe that they kind of follow some sort of code and ethics.
I read a thing once that said most professional hitmen, as in people who were hired to kill someone, right? I don't mean professional as in like, you know, part of the union.
Yeah, I got my license.
Right. Or actually people who just get hired in bars and have never done it before and think, I could do that. And then they usually fail and they usually get caught and they usually get their client arrested too. All they're undercover cops. Which really makes me laugh. And the clients are usually people trying to kill their spouses. It's not that glamorous.
No, but it's just the idea, like the way they present it in the movie.
Oh, yeah, I know. It's all cozy in it, John. People who kill people. It's lovely. Do they have dance contests on the weekend, like Dirty Dancing?
There was a limbo competition.
Really?
No.
Oh, I was about to say it was the best movie. I was gonna go watch it right now.
Just bending down underneath the bar, 2 silenced pistols in each hand. Bang, 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 bang.
Someone's firing an assault rifle into a steel drum.
Jack be nimble, Jack be quick. Jack jump over the candlestick.
Yeah. No, I'm in favor of the limbo contest.
Right. No, like without ever spending an undue amount of time on it, they establish a world, and it's a fantasy. You know, it's a fantasy world that's really interesting, and actually it made me going like, oh, I kind of like to know more about this place. You know,
someone will make a comic book fleshing it out in about 10 years time,
probably,
and it'll suck.
I mean, it could be fleshed out in John Wick 2, for all I know. I've never seen John Wick 2. But yeah, like the owner of the hotel is, what's his name? I think you really like him as an actor. Shane. I can't think of his last name. I'm pretty sure his first name's Shane. He was in Deadwood.
Oh yeah, Shane. I know him.
Oh no, Ian McShane. Sorry,
Ian McShane. Oh, I love Ian McShane. He used to be in a British TV show called Lovejoy. It was good.
Yeah, no, he's in it, and he's actually really good in it.
He's been making kind of bad roles recently, though. You know, I'm glad he's in something good because he was in the bad Pirates of the Caribbean movie, not the recent one, the one before that.
Right. Yeah, Blackbeard, right?
Right. He was not good in it. He did have a black beard, though. They got that right. In many ways, the easiest thing about the character to get correct.
Yeah. Well done. I like the idea he just steps on set with this flaming ginger beard. It's like, God
Shit.
damn it.
Anyone give McShane the memo. Give a look at the script.
Like, someone bring the costume department out here. I'm going to shoot them all in the head one by one.
He was in Game of Thrones recently.
Yeah, he had just a couple episodes, wasn't he?
Yeah, did you see it?
Yes, I did actually, with the Hound.
Yeah.
He ran the little village.
Yeah.
The village gets raised.
Wasn't much of a pop, but he was in it.
Oh. Yeah.
That is a factual statement I have made.
But yeah, I guess that's pretty much what I have to say about John Wick. But it does kind of lead into my other thing.
Can we just enjoy the moment that you spent a really long time trying to get me to know who Ian McShane was by just calling him Shane, which I really enjoyed.
I remember Shane. All right? I remember that part.
Oh yeah, have you ever seen that film Silence of the Lambs? It's got Hawk in it. You know Hawk?
Yeah, he was in MASH.
Technically it would be Hopk, but that's really hard to say. I hear, just on the subject of Ian McShane, I hear he's in that Starz adaptation of American Gods, which is supposed to be really good.
Yeah, I've been meaning to actually try to track that down. I could probably buy it on the PlayStation, but no, yeah, I heard that's really good. Funny thing is, I actually bought that for my dad for Christmas, because me and my dad are really bad about buying gifts for each other.
Right.
Because I don't know, we just never get it quite right.
Right.
You know? And I knew that my dad had read like a Neil Gaiman book before. So I was like, well, maybe he'll like this. And so I bought it kind of under the impression that because I was going to be spending a few days at his place. And I was like, oh, I'll buy this and we'll watch it. Cool. Then I get to see it. Hopefully he likes it. Christmas gift. Yeah, like two birds in one stone.
I'll buy it for me while I'm there.
He opens it up, goes, oh, cool, I've heard this is good. Set it down, and it did not move from that coffee table. The exact position that he set it down.
Come on. Open the gift. Well, I mean, this is the age-old problem whenever you buy someone chocolates, right? Like, you always get the ones you like.
Right.
Because if that gift goes as planned, they're going to open them there and offer you one.
God, I hope he opens up that case soon, because that puppy is probably pretty hungry.
You hope he was going to offer you some puppy?
Puppy.
Yeah, I'll take a leg.
I'd eat it.
That would be really horrible, though, wouldn't it? If you, like, arranged to have, like, a pet delivered. And you phoned up the next day and your loved one / friend was like, oh yeah, no, it's been in the oven about 3 hours now. We're expecting to be ready anytime. It would be like a real, you know.
I didn't expect it to struggle so much, but...
That did actually happen. Something similar to that did actually happen in my family.
Oh, God.
My mom's cousins found in the back garden a hare, but they thought it was a rabbit. And so they adopted it, and they were looking after it, and they were trying to get this hare to live with them. But hares are wild animals. They do not like to live with people. Mm-hmm. So eventually they were like, okay, we can't have this hare living in our back garden. And they arranged to have it taken to one of their uncles and said, look, we'll go take it there. They live on a farm. They got a big open space. You know, they can put it in the shed, keep it there, and you can go visit it whenever you like. So they took the hare over, and then a week later they were like, should we go visit? We'll go see the hare. It's fine. And when they got there, they made it into a stew, and were eating the hare at the time.
That's awesome. Rabbit's not bad. Like, it's pretty good.
Yeah, one of the things I know about I only know one interesting fact about rabbit, and that's that if you only eat rabbit, you will die of starvation.
Fair enough.
Interesting, isn't it? rabbit meat is apparently tasty, but is not nutritious enough to actually survive them.
I believe it.
I don't think I could eat rabbit. I think it's just on that line. I've been too familiar with rabbits as pets that I think it's just on that line where I don't know if I could do it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, could you eat a dog?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah.
What about a cat?
Yep.
What about Robert Redford?
Definitely. you know how tender you probably. No, actually, I expected you to say this because I want because that lets me bring up something. I'll admit that when I brought this up, I should have expected the response I was going to get. But there's some people I work with who now are convinced that I am a cannibal, like just waiting to happen.
Just waiting to happen. Oh, they're less far along in this deduction than me then.
So I was thinking one day, right?
Going to work with a femur stuck between your teeth.
I was thinking one day, man, George looks fucking tasty today. No.
And you said this out loud. Sprinkling like a stock cube down the back of his shirt and offering to massage his neck in vegetable oil.
Yeah, it's like those Bugs Bunny cartoons. Like, yeah, I made you a jacuzzi filled with carrots and potatoes. And
it's good for the skin. Get in, George. And let me take you to my sauna. It's set to 220 degrees C.
Oh, Jesus.
Fan assisted. Get in.
Convection. No, I was thinking one day, as you know, when you're sitting there by yourself, you kind of have some weird thoughts. I was thinking, like, under what circumstances could I eat human flesh without any pang of guilt, right? Because like all the normal situations, I would still probably feel guilty about. You're like, oh, we're all starving to death. One person dies. Donner Party situation. I'd still feel guilty, trapped in the Andes.
It's not to be ashamed of, John. There's a lot of men out there who won't eat human.
But I'm just saying, like under those circumstances, I would feel really bad.
You would feel so if there was the classic alive situation, plane goes down, everyone's dead, but you and a few others, the bodies are the only food. You would still feel bad in that situation.
I would probably still feel kind of guilty.
See, I don't think I would feel guilty in that situation. Survivor's guilt for surviving the plane crash, maybe. A bit grossed out by eating the body, maybe. But I don't think I would feel guilty about eating the body to survive if I hadn't killed them.
Well, it's like that whole situation about, how did that story go about the shipwreck, and there's like a bunch of sailors and like a little kid in a lifeboat, and they end up eating the little kid. And even though they were like pardoned by the law, they all like still hated themselves.
But did they kill the kid?
I think the kid might have died, like of natural causes.
See, my distinction is, I suppose you would never really get over it, because it's a horrific thing to see. But if I wasn't actually responsible for the death of the person, and it was me or death, I don't know if I would feel bad.
Yeah.
I think I'd feel weird.
Yeah, maybe that's better idea. I think I might feel more weird than guilty.
And if it was you, I wouldn't wait for you to die. I'd finish you off myself.
You could fucking try.
But that's got nothing to do with ethics or even starvation. I just think you look delicious.
I am. Which leads to what the scenario that I came up with.
Just licking yourself. Oh my god, I'm so good.
Oh god, it's so salty.
It's like Twiglets.
Get with the Twiglets. So I did come up with a scenario.
Okay.
And the problem is I made the mistake of explaining the scenario to someone else.
Completely unsolicited. Hey,
kind of.
Do you want to know the situation in which I'd eat you?
That was kind of how it happened, because I was sitting there in the office, and this came to me. I'm like, hey, let me explain something to you. It just came to me.
Someone you've never met before. It's their first day at work.
Yeah, I was training them. Like, oh, did you finish reading the SOPs? All right, now let me explain to you the situation I could eat human.
Specifically.
So here's the situation that I've discovered that I think I would be okay with.
Okay.
All right. If I'm in an accident, right, a car accident, right, and they have to amputate my leg for me to survive. Okay, not that my leg is gangrene or an infection or something like that, but they
You're
have
trapped.
to.
They have to cut off your leg to get you out of there.
Right. If they offered to let me take the leg, then, and I can cook it myself, I would do it. I would absolutely do it.
Yeah, I mean, that's not that different to, for example, like, women who eat the placenta, right?
Right.
So what you're saying is, if you had to have your hand amputated, but the hand itself was not, like, diseased and toxic, you would eat your own flesh.
Yeah, but not my hand, because there's not a lot of meat there.
Well, yeah, but you know what I mean. If you had to have a part of your body removed. Oh, yeah, and, like, your leg's prime rib.
Well, there's more there. Like, I could...
Have you ever had a chicken wing? I'm willing to bet there's more on a hand than a chicken wing.
Yeah, but there's more meat on my leg than a chicken wing.
Right, so what you're saying is, right, if your leg was removed in an accident, you would eat it. But if your hand was removed in an accident, and I said, hey, John, remember this conversation we had about you trying human flesh? Your hand is just there. You'd be like, no, take away the hand. That would be inappropriate, Owen.
No, it's not that it's inappropriate. It's just not filling.
You're like, oh, I'm not going to... Oh, what? Now what about filling? As if like, after the emergency workers who have separated you from your leg are there, and you're like, I'm starving, I will never eat again. No, sir, you will wait till we get to the hospital. You just chow down?
No, I'm saying that if it's a situation where I'm going to eat my own flesh, I want to be satisfied, I don't want to finish up like, I can go for dessert.
As if you'd get through like the pinky and be like, you know what? Just tasting it wasn't enough for me. I want more. I need to fulfill this experience.
I want it to be a meal, not a taste. Like I don't want a Jonathan hors d'oeuvre. Like I want roast Jonathan,
Why don't you just do what those guys did? Do you remember the German guys who took out an ad and he took out an ad to be killed and eaten? You remember this? It was in like 2000. Don't you remember?
Okay. No.
So this guy took out an ad basically saying, it is my like kink to kill and eat someone. And the other person was like, well, do you know, that is funny, because it is my kink to be killed and eaten.
Jesus.
So they did.
Germans.
And he ate him.
Fair enough.
Wouldn't the worst thing of that be, though, all those years, that being your kink, all those years desperately waiting for someone to be willing.
You're just not into it?
And then you're eating it and you're like, oh, no, it tastes like pulled pork. I don't really care for that.
Yeah, like at best I got a semi, and that's about it. Like I was expecting full on erection. Like I expected to eat this and get bat dick, but no, like it's Robin.
Yeah, and the guy ended up basically imprisoned for murder. He was convicted. But no, yeah, he consensually killed and eat him.
Yeah, that's pretty rough. Now that I said that though, that if they were offering me my own leg and I can go home and cook it myself or whatever, that would be a guilt-free way that I could eat human flesh and not feel bad about it. Now that leads to a second scenario though, right? If one of my friends happened to have their leg amputated and they gave them the leg to go home and cook it, and they invited me over to try it, like a barbecue, I'm in. I'm absolutely in.
The problem is, Now you've established this. No one's coming to your barbecues anymore.
they're just frantically looking for a one-legged person. Just where is he? Where is he?
Teddy Bazooka says, wasn't that just the IT crowd? Owen? There is an IT crowd where they make fun of that case. But they did actually happen.
Yes.
Sinister Minister says, the feast after John's buttotomy.
Yeah.
When you're going to have your butt removed. Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably not a lot of meat there. It's all like fatty.
It'd be nice and marbled, I think.
You think so?
Well, maybe not your butt.
Well, maybe. It's
Why
firm.
don't you just eat pork? They do say that is basically what we taste like.
Yeah, but it's not the same. You know, there's like a badge of honor associated with it. You know, it's like the people who eat. Like, there's like people who eat like fugu, right? That fish that could kill you if it's cut wrong.
That's definitely, I would say, the cultural position we as a society have given people who eat people.
But you know what I'm saying? Though?
It's
like
rescue workers on 9/11 at the top. People who volunteer on a gap year to build houses for poor income countries. People who eat fugu. And then people who invite their friends around to a barbecue where they share their amputated leg. Definitely. Those are like the top 5 respected people in society.
You get a medal.
Oh, yeah. For sure. And if you were a rescue worker on 9/11 who also lost your leg on that day, and then you invite people to a barbecue...
They pretty much make you president.
I think it's canonization. The Catholic Church comes around and makes you a saint on that day.
Even if you're not Catholic. Just like, oh no, we're okay with this in this one situation. You ate your own damn leg. Like, well done.
Tiny Betsuka says, you guys are giving the FBI a real treat tonight.
They're too busy, you know, never mind. Not getting into it. So yeah, like if I had if you lost your leg and they amputated it and they're like, okay, I'm gonna cook my own leg. Hey John, do you want to come over for a beer and my leg? Like, yeah, I would in a heartbeat. Like,
see, my problem with this is I've always been quite self-conscious about my legs, so I don't wear like shorts. You know?
Well, if you cook it right, you won't even recognize it.
Well, yeah, but okay, right. As if you wouldn't be spending the whole time going, there's an awful lot of meat here.
Yeah, I might be making fun of you the whole time. Just it's a big gamey.
That's the problem. If someone didn't like your leg, this would take being offended about
offended?
Right, because not only are they insulting your cooking, right? But also the quality of the leg is intimately tied to you.
This tastes like flaming hot Cheetos and spent potential.
So do you want to know my scenario? Because I think I can conceive of my scenario.
Okay.
I know for a fact that no one will ever catch me.
No, not after this.
I mean, that's my scenario, and it worked for me 3 previous times.
Okay.
I don't know. Would you do the alive thing? You're on a plane. You've crashed. Dead bodies are around, all around you.
I can't help but think like all those sort of situations like that where I don't know if you can honestly ever say until you're there. Like, I think it's very, of all the like hypothetical situations you can come up with, that one might be close to the top of could you do it? I don't think I can answer unless I'm there. You know?
I did always think, because I was thinking about, there was something very similar that I also used to think. Like, I know it sounds weird, but I used to have this really bad tooth that I couldn't afford to get removed for a really long time. When it came out, I really wanted to see it just because it had been in my mouth for so long. Do you know what I mean? And I was like, I'd just love to see what that was. And then I felt like I was only about 20 at the time. I felt a bit too embarrassed to say to the dentist, like, when you pull this, can I just have it? You know what I mean? I just want to see what was in there for so long, what it looked like. Just because it had gone, like, hollow. It was a gross story, but dentistry, even in Britain, isn't free. It wasn't a good time. Couldn't get to it. Tooth got bad. It's pretty common. Yeah, I just wanted to see it. You know what I mean? I wanted to see it, see what it looked like. But I never asked. But I have always thought that if I ever had like a kidney taken out, I would probably fry it with onions.
All right.
If they let me have it, because I like kidney. It's nice.
Yeah, but wouldn't you worry that, like, okay, if they're removing your kidney for some reason, it's probably not good. You know?
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? If it's diseased, that's one thing. But what if it's just failing? Do you know what I mean?
I guess, like, I don't know. I
guess. Okay. What if someone's got fatty liver syndrome, right? At that point, haven't you just made your own foie gras?
I mean, sure. Yeah.
Like,
I don't know. I guess.
Like, I'm sorry, they shouldn't make these medical conditions sound delicious. I love fatty liver. Onions, gravy, it's tasty.
I guess for me, the weird thing is, like, when I think of, like, eating human, I don't think of organs, right? I don't think you get the full experience eating organs. Right?
No, true, but that's the easiest to remove, because the thing is, you can always tell someone, look, I hate to tell you this, Dad, but I really need a kidney. And only afterwards do you sort of reveal that you meant it in the same way you might say, I really need a Coke.
I was just simply peckish.
Like he wakes up, comes around the surgery, he's all pale, like people have just undergone major surgery always are, and he's like...
He wakes up in a bathtub full of ice.
What? No, we do it legit, but he's like, what is that delicious smell coming down the corridor?
I'm glad you asked.
Is that liver and onions? Look, Dad, you know how much this means to me. It's delicious.
Wait, what? You're just in there, piece it together. You son of a bitch.
That would be the worst, wouldn't it? Because that'd be the relief, like, oh god, my son's not dying.
You son.
And you just play it like it's a completely normal thing to do. Like, what did you think I meant? I'm not sick.
Sitting there eating a sandwich and just be like, like, as he's like drifting back into unconscious, like, that's not how you eat liver.
Can I have a bite? Oh, come on. Who asks for a transplant back?
That's just crass. Oh, God.
The Eating People episode, then, today.
Yeah.
So, here's the thing. Could you do the whole, my hand is trapped, I chewed through my own hand to get out thing?
I think I could.
I don't know. I've often thought about this. Like, I couldn't do the... I don't know if I could do it. You know, the guy, what is it, the 127 hours guy who cut off his own hand?
Yeah.
Could you do that?
I think I'd have an easier time doing that than biting.
Maybe. Yeah, probably. If you found out that because his hand had been trapped so long it had just gone completely numb, would you have less respect for him?
No.
Really?
How
Hey!
fucked up are you? Just...
Hey, that's cheating!
I could have done that. You're basically giving yourself a stranger at that point.
I was thinking it must be terrible if, like, immediately after he cut himself out, the helicopter flies overhead like, we've come to rescue you!
No, just 5 more minutes.
Where he looks at his hands and realizes he had a really thick pair of gloves on he could have just shuffled out of.
It's what's that? The episode? Do you ever watch the '70s show?
No.
Oh, there's an episode where Ashton Kutcher's character gets his hand stuck in a vase because he's gripping onto a bag of weed. And so they spend the whole episode trying to find various ways to hide the fact that his hand is stuck in a vase. And then it comes to the end and they realize, wait, you're still hanging on to it? Yeah. Just let go.
That is dead on a joke from The Simpsons as well. Homer puts his hand up a vending machine to try and take a drink out and gets his hand stuck. And he's late for an important date with Marge that she told him not to miss.
Mm-hmm.
And so the fire brigade have to come and cut him out. And after about 2 hours, someone says, Homer, are you still holding on to the can? Maybe. When he gets home, he says, Marge, I knew you weren't going to believe me, so I got the fire chief to write me a letter. And it says, Dear Mrs. Simpson, thanks to your husband, a schoolhouse burned down.
All right. So I have an article.
Okay.
All right. So if you are fans of the show or have heard before, you might remember that every once in a while we like to dip into the pool of weird Wisconsin crimes. Now, normally...
Are there any other kind of Wisconsin crimes? So we have a problem, by the way. John sent me the link to this, but actually I've just seen unavailable due to legal reasons. I am not allowed to access this in my area anymore because of GDPR.
Okay, well, the thing
Scandalous.
is that article was not actually the article I'm going to read. I sent it to you because there's a picture in there that I feel like people need reference to.
It's a wanted image for the Wisconsin cannibal. Spotted at barbecues across the state.
It's just my employee badge. Just So, if you're listening, I suggest that you right now Google image search blue hatched baby La Crosse, Wisconsin. That's LACROSSE.
Now remember, people at home, that's blue waffle.
No. Don't do that. But yeah, it's blue
Whoa!
hatched baby.
Hello. Go back from whence you came, Papa Smurf.
All right. So now that you have that image in your head, this is all going to make much more sense.
What would you do to eat this human being? Is there a scenario?
I think they pay you. Let's see here.
Why does it look like it's screaming?
Now, to be fair, this sculpture was made over in Germany and given to La Crosse because it's a sister city.
How do we get out of this arrangement? We don't want to be a sister city anymore. Don't worry, Hans, I've got it.
Why do you sound like he's from Transylvania? It's a blue arch baby.
And then the vampires will continue our takeover of Dusseldorf.
One arched baby, Two arched baby,
I would love it if just one day on Sesame Street, halfway through, Van Helsing just came in and plunged a stake into his heart. Just blood everywhere.
Just grabbed him and shoved his face into the sunlight so it just burns off. God. Okay, I'm going to read this article, all right? Now, unfortunately, I don't have the headline for this because I copied the text without the headline, went back to try to get to the article, but I had read my share of free articles at that point because it comes from a newspaper that has a subscription service. It's stupid. Anyway, so here's the article. Mugging for selfies with the 9-foot hatched baby sculpture outside of La Crosse City Hall has become de rigueur for locals and tourists alike. But an intoxicated underage drinker learned that mugging the armless, defenseless icon can lead to trouble.
Uh-huh.
The mugging occurred at about 2 a.m. Friday when the Cross police officer, Cordero Gillum, was leaving headquarters to go on patrol and observed a group of people walking north on 6th Street, according to a police report. When the group approached the Blue Baby, I could hear a female voice shout, "No, don't do that," Cordero wrote in his report. I observed a male punching and shoving the Blue Baby.
I'm not surprised. It's horrific.
He was probably trying to do everyone a favor. I actually kind of like it. I don't know why. It's weird. I like it.
Okay. You can like it, but you must admit it is horrific, right?
Oh yeah, it's absolutely horrific. But I think it needs to exist.
Why is it a deep blue screaming baby coming out of an egg?
I don't know. Ask the Germans.
Yeah, there's one in every street corner in Berlin. Except there, the eyes follow you wherever you go.
The eyes of the Blue Baby are upon you.
How long has this Blue Baby been there?
Not long actually. It's still kind of like oddly contentious in the city. Like some people are still petitioning it to have it removed. Okay, so Cordero approached the assailant and asked him for ID. The man told him he didn't have an ID, but offered another person's Wisconsin ID, explained that he had found it, according to the report. I want to see your ID. I don't got one, but I found this person's. Is this okay?
This is a guy I know.
How does this explain your identity? Everyone knows this guy. Hey. Here. The man, identified as Carter Halverson, 19, admitted that he had been downtown consuming alcohol. Ooh, so he's an underage drinker.
Dun, dun, dun.
Because yes, in Wisconsin or in the U.S., the legal drinking age is 21, not 18. So
hello
yes, this
to Blash,
guy's.
by the way, how you doing, man?
Hey, Blash. He submitted to a preliminary breath test, recording a blood alcohol concentration of 0.10%. That's actually not that bad.
Yeah, and he wasn't like driving or operating a pickup truck or anything. He was just, giving shit to a baby statue.
Like in like 0.10%, you're looking at like 3 beers. Like right. That's what he had.
Yeah, we're not talking about totally drunk.
Right.
Just a dick.
Right. But that is above the 0.8%, which is the legal limit.
For what? Assaulting a baby in a a baby statue.
Well, I guess the okay. Above the 0.8% at which a person is presumed to be intoxicated for driving purposes.
Right, I get it.
Okay.
But was he driving? Do we know?
No, he was not. That's just they typically use that 0.8 mark in like articles and stuff for reference.
Okay, so you know sort of where he is.
Yeah.
He wouldn't be allowed to drive, but also he's not smashed.
Yeah, and he's also not of age, which is an issue. Cordero issued Halverson a citation for underage alcohol consumption, which carries a $250 fine. Now, this is where things get kind of funny. All right, I mean, this is already funny to me. The idea this guy decides to start just smacking up a giant blue baby, but La Crosse Police Department decided that they're gonna have some fucking fun with this. All right. So a tongue-in-cheek entry on the LCPD's Facebook page said, "We have had issues in the past of people picking fights with inanimate objects, like parking gates. The one this weekend, though, just was not a fair fight." A tongue-in-cheek entry on the La Crosse Police Department's Facebook page includes a bandage applied artfully to a photo of the mugged blue baby, which officially is titled Hatch Baby. The Facebook entry noted that the blue baby is defenseless, having no arms to ward off such an attack. The post, which includes the hashtag don't mess with blue baby, features a photo of the statue with a large bandage artfully applied to the photo, but not the statue. The fiberglass sculpture is part of the Friedberg, Germany artist Wolfgang Auer's, or Auer's, I think, Auer, Auer's, maybe, Blue Baby Project. Friedberg is one of Lacrosse's
Blue Baby
sisters.
Project? So, like, the Blue Baby is more of a thing.
Yes, I guess this guy, Wolfgang Auer, has made multiple Blue Baby statues and have spread them across the world.
Wouldn't it be really funny if La Crosse, Wisconsin was the only place stupid enough to accept it? Everywhere else was like, hell no.
Progressive enough.
I've just Googled it. I can't find an example of another Blue Baby anywhere.
Okay, well, we'll search Wolfgang, WOLF.
Okay, I found another one. It's in Hamilton. Where's that?
Hamilton. It just says Hamilton. That could be anywhere.
Yeah, I'm looking. Hold on.
Okay, well, he's looking for that. Okay, the fiberglass sculpture is part of Friedberg, Germany artist Wolfgang Auer's Blue Baby Project. Friedberg is one of Lacrosse's sister cities, and the statue was presented to the city for free in 2017. But it took months for the city's art board to decide where to put it, finally opting to have it installed on the southeast lawn of City Hall. Local reaction is mixed, with many people flocking to it for selfies of admiration or disdain, and others wishing they could, well, mug it.
Okay. There's one, and it's in Ohio.
Okay. Now, this could be ongoing, because this was only installed in 2017, so this could be, like, the first.
Well, this reference is from December 1st, 2015.
Oh, so maybe there's a second. Damn, Ohio always beating us to the Blue Babies.
Okay, I might have found another one.
We're now on a search.
Oh, no, this is the same one. This is the one from Ohio. I've searched for Wolfgang Auer Blue Baby. The earliest reference I can find appears to be 2007.
Okay.
Oh, God. Oh, look at this, like, prototype version made in resin he sells on his website. It's great. Hold on, I'm going to send you the link.
Okay.
I think he sells it. It's terrible. Oh, no, maybe not. Maybe it's not for sale.
Maybe it's not horrible.
Oh, look at the next one along in the egg cups.
Oh, okay. Loading up here.
So he started in 2007.
Oh, no. No.
Look, they get worse as they go on. So apparently they started in 2007.
Oh, the one with the full body is horrifying. No.
I think La Crosse, Wisconsin sort of got swindled.
I think we got the best one. Like,
they sort of get worse as they go. And... Oh, keep going through the lot. There's one that's just a close-up of the face, and it's horrific.
Oh, there's so much worse with the full body.
Oh, have you seen the one that's doing like a little handstand?
Yeah.
Oh, look at the last one. Just click on the very last one.
Oh, we're like melted?
It's not a baby. It's a woman. Very last one on the right side of the gallery.
Oh God, yes. Is that the mother?
She looks so proud.
Oh, there's my baby. Kill me.
Who is this guy? Like, he doesn't seem to be, like, famous.
No, he's just like, hey.
Hey, I'm doing a blue baby. Do you want it?
I'm an artist. Are you?
What's the message? What's the artistic sentiment behind horrific blue baby?
He has a thing, like, with, like, big eyes and weird colored...
Click on his works, right, and go to bronze, right? His bronze stuff's beautiful.
Right.
Some of the nicest art I've ever seen.
Ugh.
Take a look. It's just lovely.
Yeah. Okay.
Don't you think? It's nice. It's artistic.
It's. Is it?
Yeah,
It's
it's good. I like it. Anyway, but his blue baby stuff's awful.
okay. No, it gets better. All right. I was seeing like the first couple images that were just kind of like hunks of rock. Um, no, they get better. All right. Like look at Little Girl under resin, right? It's the same premise, just red.
And not scary. Oh god! Oh, I spoke too soon!
Yeah, no, it gets kind of bad.
Oh god, have you seen the one where his face is popping out from behind her? Like,
Yep.
hello?
I did this.
The public ones are the worst ones.
Yeah, like the ones he keeps to himself.
Oh
Are like,
god,
okay.
have you seen the snail?
Yeah, I saw the snail.
Isn't this just body horror at this point?
Yeah, like this is Tusk, right?
Oh!
We'll call it Shell.
Oh, have you seen the slug? Oh, the spoon! No!
Oh no!
Hello, everybody. You can't see this link, so enjoy
God.
at home. If you go to Wolfgang Auer, that's WOLFGANGAUER.de, you can check out the works of Wolfgang Auer, creator of the Blue Boy Baby statue, and it's horrible.
You keep talking for a little bit. I gotta go try to find some earbuds real quick.
Okay, have fun. So while John's going to do that, I will tell you, Wolfgang Auer is not an artist you should get interested in. His stuff is terrifying, and I feel very sorry for the people of La Crosse, Wisconsin, who have been required to look at it on a daily basis. I recommend you check out his beautiful art. It's lovely. Other than that, there isn't enough good public art, you know? There's a lot of weirdness to it. I guess we're sort of past the era of just, like, very realistic-looking statues. There is a really good statue in my local town, though. It really makes me laugh. There was a comedian from the town I grew up in called, let me just check. He was part of a double act, and I need to check which one he was. Just before I say it the wrong way. He was called Ernie Wise, from the double act of Markham and Wise. And in my hometown, they put up a statue of him many, many, many years ago. And it got sort of vandalized. Not a lot, but a little vandalized, I should say. Frequently. So they decided a good idea would be to put CCTV on, on the statue of Ernie Wise. Because why the hell not? You know, he's very beloved. Why not put a statue on? But what they did was they put it on the monument next to the statue. But it's the shape of a tombstone. It's the shape of a little tombstone. So the statue of Ernie Wise in his hometown now has a little tombstone on it that says CCTV in operation. Which is sort of sad for old Ernie, really. I like to think he would have seen the funny side. But yeah, they adorned his monument with a little sort of warning grave telling you you're being recorded at all times. Which I really think is, you know, the tasteful way to remember the dead. Looks like John's not with us anymore. He's gone forever. So other than that, Sinister Minister says Smurfy, talking about the blue baby. Blush says, oh sorry, I'm a little late to this reply. What subject do you have today? Well, we talked about eating people. John laid out his opinion of when it's ethical to eat someone. We talked about different things. We've been having a little chat. I don't know, when we're doing this lovely news update, which is not horrific at all.
I'm on my way back.
Welcome back. Could you hear my awesome story? I don't know.
I could. Just give me a few more seconds. I found some earbuds and I just gotta plug them in.
All right. I like to imagine John actually hasn't been able to hear the show all the way up to this point, and he's just been improvising based on what he expects me to respond to what he said. That would be good. Should be silent now so John thinks he's got his head built
Okay.
some right. Hey, how you doing?
Good.
We should do that sometime. We should have we should do a show where we can't hear the other person.
Yeah, we would just be talking over each other all the time because we're so convinced that the other one isn't.
It'd be great, right? No, we do it. We do the show, do it entirely as normal, right? But we do it like walkie-talkies with over.
Okay.
Do you think that'd be good?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
I'd do that.
Let's do a live stream by mail, right? We'll just make a comment, mail it to each other, respond, and then mail the response to the response back to the other person. You know.
I said that as a serious suggestion, and I only just realized we won't be able to hear each other saying over.
Right.
Oh, but we could DM it. We could Skype chat it.
Or, you know, actually just like dungeon master it. Have someone dictating the conversation as we go. We have to roll for joke.
I think that'd be really good if we couldn't actually hear each other, but we had to say when we'd finished speaking.
Okay. Yeah, I'd give it a shot.
Maybe not for a whole stream, but for a like a 10-minute session. Because then there'd be the great like non sequitur thing. Great accidental comedy would happen. Because we wouldn't tell each other what we're talking about. We just have to guess where the conversation had begun and carry on like that was it, you know?
Yeah, sure. No, I'm on board. I'll do it. So, that being said, I don't know, I've been talking for a while. I do have one other thing I kind of wanted to bring up, but if you got something you want to mention.
Oh, no, I'm topicless today.
Okay. So, I did finally get a chance to play a game that I've been meaning to play for a while. Because it looked interesting enough. And I just never got around to it. But I finally got a chance to play Hotline Miami.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I heard that was good.
Yeah. It is. It is really good. It's a pretty simple premise. Like, it's a top-down murder simulator.
Aren't they all?
Well, okay. So what makes this kind of unique, right, is that you actually have to approach it almost like I don't want to say a puzzle, but as you go through these levels, like, they get more and more complex. The enemies get a little bit more tougher. The enemies all generally kind of follow a pattern, but they do react to your actions, right? So, when you get into a level, you can see the floor plan essentially. You can see where the enemies are, you know, their paths and everything like that, and you have to choose the proper way to move through it and kill everyone, because that's always the goal. You have to kill everyone, right? It's never, oh, make it to the end of this level without killing anyone. No, the goal is always murder everyone.
Always be killing.
Yes.
ABK.
Yep. Got that tattooed across my forehead. What? But so you have to do this, and so what you end up doing is that you start to memorize your actions up until the point where you're failing, figure that part out, and then add it to your repertoire, right? So it's like, okay, I gotta go into this room. I know I can kick open the door, knock the guy over, hit that guy with the baseball bat, go back, finish off the guy on the ground, move to the next room before the dogs show up to come chase me down. I move into that room. That guy has a shotgun, so I'm going to throw the baseball bat, take him down, move to the other guy, knock him down with a punch, go over, finish off the guy I knocked over with the baseball bat, pick the baseball back up, go over, finish the guy that was just getting up. Now the dogs should be on me. I can hit them with the baseball bat, move on to the next. And, like, you have to kind of keep building as you go, because you'll get to a point where, oh, I failed this, so now I go again, right? It is sort of, in a abstract way, I guess, is how a lot of people approach Dark Souls games.
Right.
Right. The difference is that it's very quick, right? It's not, if you fail, you respawn like immediately. Like, there's no load time. You respawn immediately, and then once you successfully clean out, or you get to a point where you can clear out a room successfully, you do that in about 45 seconds, right? You can get it to a point where you just go through there, and you get into that flow where you know exactly what you need to do, where you need to be aiming, where you need to be, and it happens so quickly but so organically, right? Where you don't even feel like you're failing a lot.
Right.
It feels like it almost feels like you are like carving out the success, right? You're chipping away at it. And it's really good. And I like it. I really do. I don't even have really that much to complain about. The only thing that's kind of getting to me is there really isn't much of a story per se. But I get the sense that they're trying to push a message. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because everything is very, very unsettling in between missions. Like you'll do a mission and then, like, it always goes the way you wake up in your apartment and there's like some really unsettling, like, dissonant music playing, or what's that word?
Discordant.
Yes, discordant music playing, where it's
disco.
It's just like, yes, it's disco. You wake up and it's raining, man. Hallelujah, it's raining.
Do you think that was a disco song?
I don't know. Yes.
Is this where we find out John doesn't know what disco is?
I know what disco is.
I'd never really thought of it as a disco song. I could believe it, I guess.
Yeah, no, I feel like it's the late disco. You know, it's like it's the last death throes of disco. You know,
right.
Where they're like okay, clearly disco's dying. Let's put out this album where it kind of bridges the gap. And no, they just got sucked down with it. But it plays this very discordant music, and where it's just like tones upon tones upon tones just kind of bombarding you. And then you walk over to an answering machine, you play the answering machine, it always gives you something like, hey, this is Bill over at over at the office building on 54 and Lincoln. We've had some people who aren't really performing their job well. Can you come over and maybe talk some sense into them? And then that's like code, like, okay, I go to this place and I'm going to kill everyone.
And then after it's all done, you're like, oh, so you had a word with them? They're going to buck up, get their ideas right? Oh.
Oh, no.
We had a misunderstanding.
This is embarrassing. But then you do the mission, and then before the mission ends, you always stop at one of like 4 locations. Either I should also say that they make it clear that this all takes place in 1989, right?
Doesn't everything?
For some reason, they make it very clear that this is 1989. Like before every mission, it says May 14th, May 16th, April 29th, 1989, right? I don't know. Hopefully, maybe they'll figure this out. But they so you go to a video store, you go to a pizza place, you go to a bar, and you go to a grocery store. It's one of those 4 places, and as you go through, there's the same guy is always behind the counter. It's the same image. And he always says something along the lines like, yeah, things are getting pretty rough out there. You hear about all these killings going on? Man, it's nuts. Hey, don't worry about paying. This one's on the house. We're friends. But it's the same guy in all 4 locations. And and everything feels just so fucking wrong. Like, just real unsettling, like, oh God, this isn't right. And it actually gets to a point where he goes, hey, look, I need to tell you, none of this is happening. This isn't real. Like, I'm in every location. This should be, and all of a sudden, like, the screen starts like fizzling out. He's like, see, I can do this. Like, I can make this happen, and things are changing. And every time it like fizzles out, like certain things are different in the location.
Wouldn't it be really, really haunting if I played Hotline Miami before and then I just said, you know what, John, none of that happened to me.
Yeah. But I'm getting towards the end. Well, actually, I know I'm getting towards the end because they actually tell you exactly how many chapters are in there in the game. So I know I'm getting towards the end. And now when I finish missions, he's not there anymore. Now it's this different guy who's just very angry to see you. Where it's like you show up, he's like, what the hell are you doing here? Get your shit and get out. But it's still the same guy in all the locations. He's just now not the previous guy, and he's very angry at you. It's like I think I get where they're trying to take this, right? Because you are playing as this sort of mindless killing machine. Like that's like your character never utters a word. He never really shows any personality himself. Everyone just kind of talks to him. But as soon as he receives his instructions over the answering machine, you go off and you just kill anyone. You don't ask questions, nothing. You just kill them all. And I think they're trying to make kind of the same point as like the first BioShock, right?
Right. That's interesting.
And I think it's getting to the point in the game where it's starting to break down, where it's like, hey, like what you're doing isn't really good. Like, this thing that you're enjoying and you're having fun doing is kind of fucked up. Like, you shouldn't be okay with this.
I would love to make a game like that, but then set it up so that there's a random number generator like inside every copy, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But only one number actually triggers that to happen. So only an infinitesimally small percentage of the copies ever actually trigger the breakdown, just to scare the shit out of people, you know?
That'd be kind of cool. I feel like they've tried that before, didn't they? That does sound like something that's happened.
Maybe.
I feel like that's something that would end up in a Jonathan Blow joined or a Phil Fish.
I remember, the game Black and White had a list of names that were relatively common names, and when you put your name in the game at the beginning, if you put that name in, if it was one of the names it recognized, every so often the wind would just say your name quietly.
Ew.
Yeah.
Ew.
But my name's Owen, which is never on those lists. So occasionally it would just go to me,
Dan?
Death.
Oh. Dan.
Jean-Paul Sartre. It'd be great if it had really good speech synthesis. Big Cock McGee.
Engelbert Humperdinck.
Donald Trump.
Bad dick. But I should have to. I will say, and I think this actually speaks a lot to how weird this game is. This is published by Devolver.
Oh, well, there we go.
Yeah, that kind of explains a lot. But no, I'd give it a go. It's pretty cheap right now. There is a Hotline Miami 2, which I haven't really touched. But yeah, I think I'll give it some time after I finish this, and I probably will pick up Hotline Miami 2 because I have been really enjoying this. And there's a lot going for it. Like once you kind of get past the weirdness of it all, it's the soundtrack is great. Like it's filled with these kind of synth techno trance beats that I would never listen to by myself or by themselves. But when thrown into this game and what you're doing, because you're just kind of going and going and going and going, and it's one of those games where you can go like I did this when I first started playing it. I played it for 3 hours and realized, holy shit, 3 hours went by. Like,
I love games like that.
yeah, so you just go and you go and you go and you go, and every time you get a little bit further in a mission, or every time you completed one, you actually feel like, oh shit, okay, I worked it out. Like, I did this. Like, the game didn't give me any clues or hints or nothing like that. I did this, which I understand is the appeal of the Souls games, but my issues with the Souls games is generally not with that play cycle. So don't try to use that against me.
So we have a few questions in the chat.
Sure, yeah.
Balash says, are you guys also unable to find your name on those stalls that sell wristbands with names? Do you know what? Call me crazy. I don't imagine John has too much of an issue.
Honestly, I kind of do, because it's Jonathan, right? I'm a Jonathan, and Jonathan, it's Jonathan. It's spelled the way it fucking sounds, right? People who spell Jonathan as Johnathan are monsters. And the worst are people who spell it Jonathon, right?
Jonathan!
Yeah, like, no one fucking says it that way. Like, no one goes, oh, hey, there's my friend Jonathan. Right?
What's interesting is, it's very common to get the spelling of John here with the John, right? That's very common.
Yeah,
but nobody spells the Jonathan with the H.
Yeah, no one does. But I find that, like, when I go to, like, the racks with, like, the little license plate with your name on it or whatever, that's how they spell it. Or O-N. I'm guaranteed the most common spelling of Jonathan is Jonathan.
Yeah.
Right?
Joe Nathan.
Yes, Joe Nathan. Okay. But when it comes to, like, products with Jonathan in it, no one ever spells it that way. I don't fucking understand.
Yeah, it's weird. There is a great Simpsons reference to this too, but I won't do it because I'm trying to break the chain. The other question we have is Tiny Beth Secret says, question for John, are you getting Doctor Who at the same time as us? Are you getting Doctor Who at the same time as us, John?
I think we are. I've been seeing a lot of ads for, like, tune in to BBC's simulcast of the first premiere episode of
Makes it sound really high tech, doesn't it?
Yeah, they're just streaming it, you know.
Is it a simulcast? Wouldn't that mean it's on a really crappy time?
Yeah, it'd be like 8 o'clock in the morning or some bullshit.
Yeah, just the time for Doctor Who.
Well, no, it'd probably be like noon, right?
So we could all watch it on our lunch hour.
Is it Saturday or is it Friday?
Sunday this year.
Sunday. Okay. See, that's not so bad because people will be home. Like, a lot of people won't be. You know, a lot of people still work Monday through Friday.
You're going to be watching it? Are you interested in following the new season?
I want to. I really do. But the problem is like, even if I did catch this premiere, I still have no real way of continuing it because I don't have cable. I know they play it on BBC America, but I don't have traditional cable that way.
I'll just describe the episodes in detail to you.
You do that anyways. So, I don't know. Like, I want to, but I'm also so far behind on Doctor Who. I haven't seen
From what I understand, this series is pitched as an entry point for new fans, for new viewers.
Yeah,
it might be a good time to jump back in.
Yeah, but they said that like with Tenet as well. But so much, like, and I can believe that they would start out that way. But you know very well, some of those writers are not going to be able to resist referencing old shit.
Yeah, well, sure.
There's going to be some real off-ass reference to fucking the Hand of Ron or some bullshit, you know?
The Hand of Ron?
What was her name? The Ron?
The Rani. Hand of the Rani. Mark of the Rani and Time of the Rani.
Yeah, there could be some bullshit like that, you know?
You know, they could write an episode today that was intricately involved with the Rani, and I still wouldn't recommend you watch either of those two stories. They're pretty bad.
Yeah.
Time in the Rani might be the worst Doctor Who story ever from the original run.
Oh, good.
It's so bad. In fact, I would recommend you watch that one, because it's hard to believe how bad it is. But Doctor Who, at least when it's terrible, you get this funny thing of being like, wow, this show's still on and people like it. No, I love Doctor Who. I'm looking forward to it.
I don't know. Problem is, I will be working that day on Sunday, so I won't be able to catch the simulcast. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be on something. Hulu.
Yeah.
The netted flicks.
Yeah, the flicks that have been netted.
The last Christmas special was pretty good. They got what's his name, who plays Walder Frey and Filch in the Harry Potter movies.
Oh, okay.
To play the first Doctor. They had 12 meet the first Doctor. Well, he just played. They did a couple of years ago when Matt Smith was leaving in his last year. They did a show called An Adventure in Space and Time, and it was a biopic about the people who did the first run of Doctor Who. It was about Hartnell's time on the show, but non-fiction. And he played William Hartnell in that, the actor. So, kind of, we'd already come to accept him as William Hartnell. You know what I mean?
Okay. Okay.
It worked out pretty well.
Yeah. So, okay, I don't go into a huge, long explanation of this. Just a simple yes or no will work. Have they ever bothered to explain the whole niece thing?
Niece thing?
Yeah. From the first Doctor, how he was going around with his niece.
Granddaughter.
Okay, have they ever explained that?
What do you mean?
Like, oh, it's not his actual granddaughter, it's just a friend that he called his granddaughter, or was it actually his granddaughter?
The expanded universe stuff has occasionally suggested she wasn't. The show has occasionally explicitly said she was.
Okay. Fair enough.
Tennant did say he had kids before.
Okay. Did he? I don't remember that. I've seen all of Tennant.
It was the episode when he touches the cloning machine and it generates.
Oh, okay, yeah, the Doctor's daughter.
And Donna's like, "Isn't this great? You can start a family and stuff." And he's like, "I've done that." That's. Yeah.
Okay.
Implying that she was actually his granddaughter. Yeah, she is his granddaughter.
Okay, that's all I want to know. So yeah, that's what I have. Hotline Miami, John Wick, very similar in weird ways. And
cannibalism.
Cannibalism, very similar. But I think I mentioned on one of your streams that the feeling I get from Hotline Miami is very much the same sort of tone, and aesthetically even, as the movie Drive. So, if you've never seen Drive, it's actually a very good movie.
So I have seen Drive, but not the way you've seen Drive. There's a thing on the iPlayer, which is the BBC's catch-up service. Well, it's sort of a thing the BBC does sometimes, where they show movies, but they have different people make a soundtrack for them than the original soundtrack to give the movie a different tone.
Weird.
Yeah. And I saw Drive like that.
Because the music very much influences that film.
Yeah, well, it did in this version, too. I think that's a really great idea. They did it for a while, but they stopped it. I imagine it works better with movies you've already seen.
Sure.
Wouldn't it be great if you just came on one time and it was just someone playing kazoos? Like
that's how I imagine you, like when you said that, I'm like how change it how? It's weird.
like what is it? PG porn, like a family friendly.
Yeah.
See the whole movie.
But did it keep all like the really over the top violence in it and everything too?
It's the same movie. Like the film, everything but the music is the same.
Okay.
And then the music's different.
Did you like it?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. So I don't know if I've ever told this story before with that movie, but I saw it during a date, because both me and the girl had very different ideas about what this movie was going to be, and neither one of us were right. Um, so she saw it as, oh, it's a Ryan Gosling film. He's pretty. Like, I'm going to go see the Ryan Gosling film. I saw the trailer and go, oh, this is going to be a really interesting crime, movie, where, action-packed, speeding getaway cars and that sort of thing. I'm expecting like Heat, right? It's not either of those kind of movies. It is a very unsettling depiction of a emotionless freak of nature who just happens to be involved in crime. I love the movie, but it's so hard to explain,
I found it. It was called Radio 1 Rescores.
Okay.
And the new soundtrack had churches on it.
No. It did, because there's certain songs in it. Like there's, like the opening is really good because there is a score in the opening, but it's almost like it's not there. Like it's almost a perfectly silent opening with just the sound of like engines and cars and stuff like that. But there is a very quiet score that happens during that, and it's just this this thing, and you miss it because you're kind of engrossed in the tension, and you realize that it's that very silent thing that's actually making you anxious while watching it. It's really well done.
So I just found this link that says Drive director says working on Radio 1's rescored version of the movie was, quote, very sexual. Note, he doesn't say, like, the theme of the soundtrack.
All right, guys, let's get to it. Zip.
That's not what you were here for.
Oh, it's about to get fucking real up in here. Light the candle.
Yeah, there's a little making of clip here you might find interesting. I don't know, but it was
That's weird.
It was just a way of watching the movie completely differently, I suppose.
Yeah.
I'll send you a link. All right. Well, okay. I don't have anything else to cover. What about you?
No, I'm pretty much good. Anything else in the chat?
Tiny Bit Secrets cross at you for not watching Doctor Who.
Sorry, Tiny Best.
She says, look at all the excuses. I think John is sexist.
Wow. I do have band powers.
Tiny Bit Secrets says, I think Capaldi did too. Say that he had kids. Yes, he did. Tiny Bit Secrets says, too easy to do an editing mashup of this, so John talks about enjoying cannibalism, not this game. It's pretty funny.
It's really good. I eat a leg. Just.
Nosby says, so true, an edited version of this stream would be hilarious. Well, pretty much unchanged from the original in most parts, I think.
Hey, if anyone wants to take the time to go through our episodes and recut our voices saying weird things out of context, go nuts. Like, I'm okay with it. Just don't make us racist.
I am really looking forward to Doctor Who this year, so I will be covering it and talking about it on the show.
Nice.
Cool. Yes. And yeah, let's get out of here then. You want to see us out?
All right. Yeah, sure. Thank you for watching Those Aren't Biscuits. This has been another episode. Tune in next time when we talk about more stuff. Because what we do.
Yeah.
I have been one of your hosts, Jonathan Cadott, and with me as always has been Owen Adams. Owen, where can they find you?
Go to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Owen Adams.
Awesome. And you can find me right here on this channel. This is where all my content comes up when I decide to make it. Or you can follow me on Twitter at John C. Person. That's Jon, the letter C, Person. And until next time, have a good one.
Bye-bye.